Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Hey Sister. Hey Sister, how you doing this evening?
Hey sister, I'm having a great evening. I can't complain. So I'm excited to talk about skincare and plant-based stuff and all kind of fun stuff on tonight's episode of Hey Sister.
Fantastic. Well, we got Jody already tuning in. Hey, sister. Hey, Jody. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. And if you are like Jody, you're out there, we want you to like, follow, share this episode. Tonight, we're going to have a more of a light topic, but we're going to be talking about something that's also very timely and important. It's really how we care for our skin. You know, our skin is the largest organ in our body, but how do we take care of it and how do we treat ourselves well, especially during this pandemic? So share this on your page, start a watch party, do whatever you need to do on Facebook. If you're tuning in on YouTube, we want you to get into the conversation there on YouTube. Talk to us in the comments and let's have some fun tonight. Let's see who else we have. Hey Cam, we have Cam tuning in, one of our super fans. And so this is so timely, and we did not plan for this. It says, love the hair, Chris. So let's talk about the hair, sister. What's up with the hair tonight? The curls are popping.
Well, thank you. So I just posted a video on our Hey Sister Instagram page. I guess it may have gone to Facebook as well. I don't know. You know, I'm not as tech savvy in that way as you are. But last week I won a contest for my Yoki vegan hair care. And I was like, one of my friends asked me about a product review, let her know how I liked it. And so I was like, okay, let me check it out. And so I washed it today and put the conditioner in. And I just felt like, what better way of showing whether or not it is doing its job than just to come on to Hey Sister. I washed it and with the Hydrate shampoo, and then I put the Hydrate conditioner through it. And then I said, just let's go from there. So if it's hydrating my hair, it should be able to last at least through this broadcast. So I'm so happy to hear that you love it, Jody. So that makes me feel good. And it shows that we don't have to do a whole lot to our hair. And this vegan hair care line is so important because, you know, we're doing this 30-day vegan challenge. And so it just worked out that way. And then, you know, tie into what we're going to be talking about in terms of healthcare, in terms of skincare. So, yeah, it smells great. I gotta say, my hair smells really, really good. So,
it looks like your curls are very hydrated, and so, nice. Yeah. And so, what type of fragrance does it have?
So it smells very floral, like plant, but light. You know how we always talk about how does fresh smell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Smells light and fresh, almost like clean clothes, clean linen, or something like that. Mm-hmm. A light floral scent, not a heavy fragrance thing at all. And one of the things that I said in my video is that this is a Black-owned company, and a lot of the curly hair companies that we've come to know and love were founded, that's the important word, founded by Black owners, but many of them have now been sold to larger corporations, so they're no longer Black-owned companies. So this one is, so check it out.
All right.
Website up.
We dropped in the comments the website for you all to go check it out, and I might have to try a little bit on my hair and try to hydrate these little curls. I'm hiding today. I kind of pinned it all up, so because I'm actually experiencing a little bit of that dryness. So you mentioned, sister, that we're doing this 30-day vegan challenge. Tell the folks, because we're on day 16 now. Woohoo!
Yeah, over.
We have crossed over the halfway mark, and with a couple of other friends, we are doing the 30-day vegan challenge. I don't know about you, but it's been going pretty well for me. What about you, sister?
I agree. I've enjoyed it so much so far. I think what has helped out a lot is because, you know, the purpose of me doing it and the purpose of us doing it, it wasn't like we were going into it saying, oh, I have to lose 13 pounds or putting that added pressure on ourselves, because we know how cortisol, holding on to cortisol because of stress and things like that. So it has been good so far. I did it because I wanted to pinpoint where pain was coming from in my body. And I haven't pinpointed it all, but what I will say is now in the mornings when I get up and it's time to get up out of the bed, I can get up out of the bed. I'm not feeling like I'm slowly rolling out of the bed. Or when I feel some kind of aches and pains from working out, it feels like aches and pains from working out, like regular soreness. It doesn't feel like soreness plus old age plus inflammation plus. So far, so good. And I think, again, just between the hair and the vegan eating, one day maybe I'll get to the makeup piece. And I definitely can't promise you I'm not gonna wear clothes made of animal skins. I can't go that far, but
well, I'll say for me, really, if you use onions, peppers, and mushrooms, you can make anything taste good. And that's what I've been rolling with: onions, peppers, and mushrooms. So we got a yay, go curly hair. Yes, curls are popping. So so if you want to join us for the next 14 days, because we are 16 days in, if you want to join us for the vegan challenge, drop us a line, let us know, hit us up either on Facebook or Instagram in our direct messages, and then let's talk about how to get through the 14 days and see how it works for you. It's actually been a lot easier than anticipated, but just like with anything in life you want to be successful at, it requires a little bit of preparation. And if you prepare a little bit, it goes really well. Because today I did quinoa in my rice cooker. So if y'all have a rice cooker, cook the quinoa in the rice cooker. I did red beans and kale and collard greens, and they were all delicious. Delicioso. So another hot topic we want to get into tonight is this United States Postal Service debacle. So I got a text message today from one of my friends, fellow Xavierites, and said, hey, I got the shirt you sent me. Thank you. And I'm like, girl, that's been 2 weeks ago that was shipped out. Like, what? Our uncle retired from the United States Postal Service, and he swears when he retired, which is about 20-some years ago at this point, it all went to hell after he retired. Shout out to our Uncle John Curtis Hill Jr. But what is happening with this United States Post Office, sister?
I don't know, but what I will say is, Jolindi sent us a great clip earlier with Karen Hunter and Dr. I think it's George Carr, and in listening to them talk about sort of the way from the Obama administration and the plans to move into what we thought might have been a Hillary Clinton administration, that certain things, they wanted certain people to be over the Postal Service. Bernie Sanders voted against it, but then he was saying he voted against it because didn't want it to be privatized or what have you. And so all of these things, but expecting, hey, you know what, if we have a Clinton administration, we'll fix it. We'll clean it up. We'll figure it out afterwards. But then we end up not having a Clinton administration. And so this is why, as we always say, elections have consequences. Elections matter. Voting matters, because you're not just voting for the president of the United States today, or you're not just voting you're voting for judges. You're voting for who is going to appoint people. So now we have somebody who's over the United States Postal Service who has not divested of his interest in companies that are direct competitors to the U.S. Postal Service. And it seems that there is a deliberate effort being made to undermine the Postal Service ahead of the election. But I saw one thing on my friend Vanessa's page. Hey, shout out Vanessa. That it was from Brian Tyler Cohen. And it said the post office is secure enough for millions of Americans to send taxes to the IRS every year, secure enough for the government to mail out $1,200 stimulus checks, secure enough to send credit cards and passports and driver's licenses, but not secure enough for ballots. Got it. And I think that it speaks volumes that we are watching this play out in front of our eyes. And this is the reason why voting is so important. It's not just about the one person, as we said earlier this week. It is about the implications that have long-lasting consequences. So I hope they get it together, because I'm going to tell you, when I sent my, speaking of taxes, I sent my tax return in about 2 days before the deadline. Mm-hmm. Girl, I was sweating bullets, hoping that the folks got their money, because I don't want nobody coming after me trying to Ron Isley me in a situation.
Not Ron Isley. Don't throw Ron Isley under the bus like that.
Like me in a situation. No, ma'am. No, sir, Sam. I paid y'all. Here's y'all money. I'm literally like, please don't let the sorters that they decide to keep be the ones that shred up your your envelopes and stuff like that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm going to put it down in the chat here. Over 80% of congressional seats are up for election. Over 80%. So either they're trying to be reelected, or someone is competing against them. It's bigger than just one person, one office. So I say vote like your life depends on it, because every aspect of our life does depend on it. And the United States Postal Service has had its challenges. Let's not, diminish that. But it also seems like this is a concerted effort. And I don't know if it's to try to rectify those challenges. But we've seen those who come in and say, we're going to run certain agencies like businesses, and what that has done for people's lives and livelihoods and what have you. So I think that there needs to be some cleanup. There needs to be some management changes. There needs to be some streamlining. But I also think that the United States Post Office needs to start charging Amazon more, because Amazon uses the United States Postal Service very heavily. Mm-hmm. And so Amazon is making money hands over fist, not paying many corporate taxes. And they're using a government agency in order to continue to make billions of dollars. Right. I'm just saying, there are some things that need to be reevaluated and reassessed at the United States Postal Service. But these deliberate actions of removing boxes and some of the other things, and cutting overtime and doing some of these other things, removing sorting machines, those are deliberate actions, I think, to interfere with the election process. And I think that's shameful. So,
absolutely. Isn't it crazy how back in the day, though, the post office was a good job, and now
that part.
It was like, ooh, you could get you a good job at the post office. Now,
I don't know. And also the post office uses a lot of independent contractors as well. Because you don't see a lot of USPS trucks on the road. You see a lot of people in their regular cars on the road, and their Jeeps and what have you, delivering your mail, right? Yeah. They don't even come have uniforms on anymore, because a lot of those folks are 1099. So there is definitely something to be said about mismanagement and things that need to be rectified. So, but anyway, our last hot topic, and we're going to be quick on this one. We want to say shout out to everybody who's going back to school, the college move-in process. I've seen lots of friends posting about the college move-in. Our thoughts and prayers are with all families who are their kids are going back into classrooms. And we see in our public schools, we're having grand opening and grand closings, like all in the same week because of COVID. We also, those who are going back to college, I saw, both of my alma maters, students moving into hotels because they're trying to ensure social distance. So, just be safe, be careful out there. We're living in a strange time.
Absolutely. You weren't gonna talk about your president's brother at all.
No, I don't know him, but condolences. The loss of any life is sad, and loss of any family member is definitely sad. I don't know him. I don't have a personal relationship with him. It seemed very I don't know what illness he had or what he was suffering from. Just about 4 or 5 short weeks ago, he was suing his niece over the release of her book. So, something obviously happened and took him very quickly, and he's no longer here at 72. And so, God bless.
Okay. I only brought it up because I just think it's very crazy that there are, I just saw, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris both put out statements, and, there are folks who just won't even allow, to me, that's the adult thing to do. And I mean, again, just like you just said, you don't know him, but condolences, the loss of life. Something that we can empathize with people. Like if you're a human and you're empathic, then you can empathize with someone under those circumstances. And so the fact that people are even looking at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in I think being very sincere and make it a political thing. We are just in a very unusual and unfortunate time.
Mm-hmm. It's shameful. Well, anyway, we are so excited to have our guest for this evening, Miss Ayana Nelson Freeman. She is the owner and founder of Ayana Denise Skincare. And so we want you to join the conversation in the comments as we bring Ayana on. Hey, Ayana, how you doing?
Hi.
So Ayana's been having a little technical difficulties, and so we know. So if she drops out, and she's gonna pop back right in, but we want to really kind of have this conversation about what's going on with your face, girl. Our skin has been in a rough shape lately. But Ayana, for our audience and for your friends who are tuning in and watching, tell the folks who you are and how did you get started in the skincare industry?
First of all, your skin is beautiful. Okay, let me just start with that. Don't be so hard on yourself. So I think you're beautiful. Your skin is beautiful. Don't worry about that. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me today. I really appreciate it. I absolutely love talking about skin. So poke and prod me all you want today. Yes, I am having that infamous technical difficulty week with school starting back and a lot of things pulling my internet here and there and Wi-Fi.
Oh, nope. There we go. Lord, it's like, I guess we spoke about it. Well, I'm going to read a little bit from her page as well. I'm going to drop in the comment section. Oh, there she is. Hey, lady.
I'll pop right back in when it happens again. So yes, I have fallen down a rabbit hole with skincare. My company, Ayana Denise, is technically a new company. As of this year, but that's only because for 7 years I was known as Leela's Body Cocktails. That's what our company was. And now we're Ayana Denise Skin. Specifically, we're trademarked. We've done everything that we weren't able to do when we first started. So we are super duper legit to quit is the way that I say it. So I started the business in festivals and markets. I did cash and carry. And along the way, I realized that I had way more knowledge than what people perceived me to have and what I perceived myself to have. Because I actually started holistic studies and also studying the anatomy when I was in my mid-20s. That's when I started studying. It was on my own. And then eventually I got to the point where I really understood the human body. And a part of the human body was the skin, which is my favorite organ. So the more I knew about skin and understood about skin, I was actually able to consult people on their skin. Please don't think about it as a Mary Kay consultant. That's not what I did. I actually was able to listen to what was going on with you in your life. Look at your skin, do face mapping, and say, okay, this is connected to this, whether it was an internal issue to your liver or to your stomach, or maybe you had asthma and other allergies, all that was related. And I was able to pick that up instantly. And then if it was something topically, I was able to pinpoint that for people as well. So that's when I understood my power in this industry where a lot of people did not have it at all. So I am not an esthetician by trade. I never had the desire to be an esthetician, because esthetician is just what it is, which the definition is aesthetically visual, what is pleasing and things like that. So my approach to skin is just completely different. My focus is to nourish your skin, making sure it has what it needs to do its job, which is to stay impermeable, which is to protect you from harmful sun damage, which is to also keep all the other organs inside healthy and intact. It cannot do that if we are going to put poison in our body and on top of our skin as well. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got to this point in my business as far as the expert in skin that I am. Technically, I have started a certification program, which is called a skin therapy program. Mm-hmm. So I certify people to become skin therapists. And that program is mostly for estheticians just because they have a base with skin. But honestly, I would train people who are not estheticians who can also be knowledgeable about advising people what to put on their skin and also what to put in their bodies to support their skin. So that's how I got here. Oh, and I love the vegan talk, by the way. I'm all over it. I'm trying the quinoa in my rice pot. I have not done that.
Oh yeah, it makes it a lot easier when you put it in a rice cooker, honey. It's like, oh.
I'm gonna try that today. I'm trying it. I'm making beans and rice. So
fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing. Now, you not only have studied the skin, but you develop your own product line. So what brought you, like you said, you started out at festivals, you were doing Lila's Body Cocktails. And so that's head to toe, taking care of the body. But, what made you even want to formulate your own products?
As I started these formulas, I was literally at a very depressed stage in my life. This is one of those stories to where, it's not I'm going to start my own company and it's going to be a skincare line. That's not how it started. I was designing clothes. I designed for Dillard's. I was traveling all over the world and I was gaining all this knowledge and experience. So I had absolutely no plans in developing a skincare line, none at all. It just happened because I had just been separated from my ex-husband. I had an almost 2-year-old baby, and I was not able to enter the industry like I was before designing clothes because so much had changed for me, and the economy was not where it was when I was designing clothes in the US. I just moved back from India. So I literally had to start all the way over. Literally, I had to reinvent myself. So who people thought I was, I just wasn't that anymore because I had gone through so much, and going through a divorce and being a new mom really did test me. So I lost my purpose, and I specifically asked my creator, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't know what my purpose is, and I want to do something for people that pulls from something specific that I have to give them. But I don't know what that is. I can design clothes and I can make people look pretty and build their self-confidence. That's great. but what is it that I have specifically that Ayana has that I can share with other people and make a difference? Within a couple of days, that's actually when I started mixing. I started using my hands. I pulled out the book that I traveled with and looked at different resources. I would look up cocoa butter and I would look up aloe vera, and I would go back to all these things that I wrote down. And I said, okay, I'm going to develop an oil for me and my daughter, and we're going to use it all over. I threw out any other product that was in the house that was not mine. I threw out Bath and Body Works. I threw out Victoria's Secret. I threw out Johnson & Johnson. I threw out any Johnson & Johnson related product like Aveeno. I threw everything out and I only used this oil. And that's really how it started. I did not have a plan. I had at all. So I started giving this oil out to people. And then my good girlfriend, Badana, she said, Yana, you have to quit giving this away, and I'm going to buy your first bottle. And so she did. She purchased my first product for $10, and it was in a little plastic container. It was an oil, which at the time was called Happy Hour. And that's what I started selling at festivals. It's now called Head to Toe. It's still the #1 selling oil in the product line. You can use it in your scalp.
Oh, wow. Man, that was getting good. Boy, that was a powerful story, sister. I know you got some questions to ask when she
I
popped
do.
in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, that was some really powerful stuff.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm back. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. So you were telling us,
Okay,
that became your best selling product is Head to Toe.
That was the best one. And now it was the first one. So it was still the mama of the brand. But since then, I have expanded into so many different directions. I have soap. I have ointments that I'm going to share with you as far as, keeping your skin moisturized under your face masks. So these are all based off of my, not just pet, but for just paying attention to what was needed. So I literally.
Oh boy. Man, we might have to reschedule another time, sister. Oh, this is terrible.
I know. She'll come back.
Yeah. All right, you're back.
Okay, good.
So if you want to sleep on us? No, I think it's her Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you hear us still?
I can hear you. Can you?
We can hear you fine.
It sounded like it was going in and out. Okay. Looks like I'm still backstage, so I wasn't sure.
Nope. Oh well. I think that we might have to switch up.
Let's let her come back on, and we'll just jump into some questions and see how many questions we can get through.
Yeah. So go ahead, start asking questions, sister. She's gonna start asking questions so we can kind of get through.
Yeah. So first, you were talking earlier about you could see if a person was having certain problems, it being related to something that usually was internal or could, might have been internal. Let's just talk about a little bit about diet and some of those common sense things that we know, but sometimes we don't always do because we forget that our skin is our biggest organ.
Diet is the biggest play on all of your organs, all of them. So, a lot of us pay attention if we have a tummy ache, right? Or if we're, breathing funny, then we pay attention to our lungs, our respiratory system. But for some reason, if our skin has a problem, what's the first thing we do? Cover it up. That's what we're used to doing. We cover it up. And we forget that the skin is actually an organ. So if there's any sort of clogging that's going on, the key with that word clogging is to understand how to see your skin as is clogged. Your pores are clogged. How can you tell that? Easy. All you have to do is look for any sort of rises underneath the skin surface. And it looks like it's kind of bubbling. We get it. You're bubbling. Your hormone levels jump up and down. Your menstrual cycle comes up. You may be pregnant and about to have a baby. You may be 13 years old and your hormones have increased. But naturally your pores should be able to breathe and let out any sort of I always call it like pollution to come out of the body. Things that it doesn't want, the trash that normally can go through our digestive system, but some things actually go through our skin pores. But what if it can't do that? It gets clogged up. What is clogging it? Something that's going on topically. So if you're eating a lot of sodium and you're eating a lot of cheese and your pores are saying, okay, well, we like it, but we need it to come out. And then if you cover it up with makeup or you're putting baby oil on, which is
Well, folks, I think we might have to shut this episode down tonight. We were getting good, man.
No, it was getting so good. But if your skin can't let those things out, that's where your underneath that skin, that's where those bubbles are going to keep coming. And that's what's going to cause hyperpigmentation. And we all know, especially for women who are melanated, we have an issue with hyperpigmentation because our bodies produce enough oil, but if we aren't letting the oils breathe, the pores breathe, we're going to get the dark spots, and then we're going to have to put on more makeup. So that's how the whole cycle works. In a nutshell, that's the best way for me to explain it to you.
All right, you got another question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask also. So ingredients. One of my challenges is that, of course, when you go to the store to buy anything, right? We always, if you're looking from a marketing standpoint, everything sounds like it's wonderful, right? So what are those ingredients that we should be looking to avoid, and what are those ingredients that we should look to make sure our products have?
Okay, the biggest issue I have with the ingredients is a mismarketed ingredient called petroleum. It is very much mismarketed. It should not be in any skincare products at all. Petroleum is what it is. It's a petroleum. It's supposed to seal. It's supposed to protect something in a heavy way. Petroleum, mineral oil, which is a derivative of petroleum. All that's going to do on your skin is clog it. You're going to perspire. You're going to feel sweaty. You're going to get that real super duper, like I just ate fried chicken look on your skin. That's where it comes from. And it's hidden in so many things. It's hidden in lotions. It's hidden in body washes. It's hidden.
Well, sister. I don't know. What's going on.
Let me ask you. Hey, Ayana, let me ask you a quick question. Does your thing automatically fall asleep? Does your browser automatically fall asleep?
Yeah, it does. Maybe I should just play with it, huh?
Let's see if because that could be. Let's see if that could be causing the dropout. If your browser kind of falls asleep after a few seconds.
Okay, I'll keep messing with it.
Yeah.
Also, mineral oil is hidden in your foundation. So a lot of times if you're wearing full coverage, that's about the worst. That's about as bad as it can get because they slather mineral oil in that. So, and it does its job. You market it. Women need the full coverage because it does such a great job, but at the same time it's clogging your pores more. So now you have to use it every time you go outside. So your pores are literally suffocating from the full coverage makeup, as opposed to you finding some, a powder, a light powder or something like that can do a great job covering your skin.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
What should we look for then? That's what we should avoid. What should we look for?
Okay, what you want to look for is natural ingredients. So on the top 2 lines, especially of any product, are the most important lines of the ingredients. But you want to see jojoba oil, you want to see coconut oil, you want to see olive, sunflower. Those are the oils you want to see because they are not heavy. They're not heavy at all. They're not going to make you look oily or anything like that. They are natural oils. That's what you want in the products. So if you see a product on the shelf, what's the first thing they say? Oh, with coconut oil. And coconut oil is probably like at the very bottom of the ingredient list. You're like, where's the coconut oil? Oh, you think it's like, a little drop in there for that one. So that's what you wanna look for.
Mm-hmm. We see you have an assistant who decided to join you.
Yes, and we're glad that she got dressed today. This is Queen Leela. Leela's her middle name, which is how the company started, Leela's Body Cocktails.
Nice.
So she's still the muse for the company.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Yeah, so that's what you want to look for. And also, I want to say this too, regarding with Queen. A lot of us forget our children in this thought process. We parents have to also look for those same ingredients for our children, because those skin problems that we have in adult, guess when they started? When we were children. It started then.
Yeah. Well, amongst Black children especially, eczema is always something that's very problematic. So I don't know, what say you about eczema and why is it so problematic for our children?
That eczema.
It's a lot of it's dairy. It's related to inflammation. I mean, because eczema is an inflammation process.
My best comparison to eczema is asthma. So if you have asthma, you're also prone to eczema. If you have asthma in your family, you're prone to eczema as well. The same things that affect you with asthma, guess what? The exact same thing that affect you with eczema, believe it or not. Dairy affects asthma. Stress affects asthma. Weather change, elevation, seasonal change, they affect asthma. It affects eczema. So if you understand that about your body, you'll be able to at least control your eczema. I'm not saying that you won't be completely free of it, but as long as you understand how it happens and what sparks it, then you'll be able to control it and you won't have at least those really harsh, uncomfortable flare-ups.
Yeah, that's it. Well, folks, if you're out there tuning in, we want you to join the conversation in the comments. We ask you to tell us about ask your skincare questions. Tell us, have you ever lost your purpose and how did you reinvent yourself? So you may not start your own business like Ayana did, but I think that's just such a powerful story how, you can be on top of the world, literally traveling all over the world and still feel like you've lost your way. And I think that's also something that's very important to us at Hey Sister, to have those conversations for women about how do we reinvent ourselves, right? And so join us in the conversation in the comments and ask your questions. Now, I did a consultation with you. And one of the things that I liked about the consultation is you asked about, well, what's your heritage? Where's your family heritage? And so I was able to look up my little DNA report that I have. Why? Oh, man. Okay. Hopefully she'll be back. But really, I wanted to know why that heritage and that DNA, the impact of our heritage has on our skin and the things that impact our skin. So tell us about that.
Now, listen, I love genetics, and I was glad you were able to be Johnny on the spot with that, because I know that a lot of people, they're not able to do it. And I literally have to ask a lot of questions to get to the bottom line. But the origin of your genetics has a lot to do with the characteristics of your skin and also, with your body. So if your family is mostly mountain people, desert people, river people, that's going to have a lot to do with what your skin is acting like right now in your current climate. Okay. If your family is desert people and you're in a humid climate, what do I need to look at specifically to help you? If you come from a humid climate and now you're in a desert climate, if you're northern, you're Northern European and not getting a lot of sun and you're pale and you're redhead, now you're in the desert and harsh, high elevation and a lot of sun. That's going to tell me a lot about what I need to tell you to eat. What I need to tell you to wear, if it's like, do you need to wear long sleeves? Do you need to wear short sleeves? Do you need to have this much sun per day? And also what you need to apply topically, from jojoba oil to butters. Some people need to use butter. Some people need to use oil instead. And don't think just because we all are in similar skin tone categories, we need to use the exact same thing, because that is not true. Right. Your genetics tell me you need to use more butters rather than oils. So genetically, I have to ask those questions in order to meet your skin where it is and support it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, I thought that was very fascinating. And I know that I got a nice mask kit that I'm looking forward to trying. And I got a nice butter bar of body bar of soap. And I love that, the first ingredient is not water. So when you go look in a lot of your products, the first ingredient is water. And I've bought some things recently because I've been making a real conscious effort to support some Black-owned businesses like my sister did with the vegan hair care products. And I love that the number one product is not water in the soap. So that means that it is, it's actually made, and I've already bathed with it one time. So, and it creates a nice clean, but not dried out feeling on your skin. Yeah. And I thought that was very powerful, because it's a butter bar. So I thought that was really cool.
Definitely. And your skin definitely needs butters. I think it loves it. It will shine. There'll be a glow that happens from the inside out for your skin. And that's because you needed that butter to sort of work from the inside out for your complexion as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I love, so the ingredients are cocoa butter, shea butter, sunflower oil, essential oils, and like those are the ingredients. And the number one ingredient is cocoa butter. And our mama used to slather us with some cocoa butter, sister.
Look, and not the Palmers, right? Not the Palmers.
Yes, she did, honey. And we were always, every time we went somewhere, people were like, "What? Who got candy around here?" Because we were smelling good when we were growing up, honey.
The Palmers would get you in trouble though as a teenage girl.
Oh boy. All right, sister, what questions do you have?
Well, I actually was going to ask next about your process. So you said you started with your oil, your head to toe, and that was one thing. Now you have an entire product line. How did you go from that one product to an entire line, like manufacturing on a full scale, instead of just probably in your kitchen like you started off or something like that?
Yes, I actually listen to clients. What they would tell me is important. If someone told me something more than one time, I literally said, okay, this is an issue that I need to address. Mm-hmm. So I would create a product that way. I really pride myself on great customer service. I don't feel like you owe me anything as a customer. You owe me nothing. When I look at it that way, that's how I started growing. It's because people saw that I'm not trying to just push this on you, push that lotion on you. I'm just trying to sell it. No, I am very intentional with every person who I talk to. When I do a consultation, I do listen. I write a lot of notes. I literally recommend and prescribe what your skin is telling me that it needs. That is my focus. When I started making sure people really understood that and being more educational about it, that's really how the skincare line grew. They started telling their friends about it. They started telling their family members about it, to the point where I was like, okay, that's a lot of products that I need to make. And so also a couple of years ago, when I started not doing the markets, which was a huge step for me. There was a reason why I stopped doing markets, which is because I wasn't able to talk to people about their skin. In the markets, you're going like this. I'm going like this the whole time. Here's buy this, buy this, buy this. But I wasn't able to listen. So it became a point that if I were to do anything, any sort of event, I had to lead with education. I had to make sure people felt comfortable with talking to me about their skin. Because generally we're walking around, we're doing our thing, we're going day to day, we have makeup on so nobody can see what's going on underneath. And I wanted to actually have the time to look at that person's skin and really be able to advise them appropriately. So when people saw that that was my approach, and that's what made me different from a dermatologist and an esthetician, I literally carved out my own niche in the industry. And that's how I started growing as a company.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And so we did a consultation remotely. So tell you also do remote consultations because you are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I am not. And so I did not make an appointment. I didn't fly out to Albuquerque. We did it remotely. So how has this, pandemic impacted your business and your ability to really have those skincare conversations because it's such a hands-on business?
It is a very hands-on business. And that's a great question because the pandemic can do one of two things for business. It could take you under, or it can make you a very creative person. So I took the creative route. There were things that I've been wanting to do virtual consultations. But in my mind, I was like, well, how am I going to do that if I'm seeing clients all the time physically? How am I going to fit that time in? Boom, the pandemic hits. So it became very timely when that pandemic did hit. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do my virtual consultation. So how can people experience me and my knowledge in a virtual platform as opposed to coming to see me in person? I am still doing in-person consultations 2 days a week. I'm masked up. But those are really mostly my loyal clients that I see like on a weekly basis. I'm taking a couple of new clients in that way. But I even have virtual clients in Albuquerque itself because people need to feel protected. They still need to self-quarantine, but they still need the attention and the direction. So what I focused on was, like Dimitri, when you sent me your photos, those photos are very important because I have to study your skin. You're not with me in person, so I need to look at the photos. I need to look at your right side, look at your left side. I need to look at your neck. And that's going to tell me everything I need to know about how our consultation has to go for you to see improvements in your skin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And you do these customized kits. So you do a customized mask kit based on that consultation. And I got my great kit in the mail. And it came with everything that you need in the kit. And I thought that was so cool and a way to really meet the needs of people. I mean, it even to the bonnet to cover up your hair, like you would if I was going to the spa and they're covering my hair. Everything was in that little kit. I thought that was so really cool. So yeah.
You need to be treated, even though you can't see me. If you come into the clinic, I have candles going. I have soft music going. Like, you're in a trance when you come in. You may come in stressed, but you are going to get relaxed extremely quickly. So I tried my best to put that experience in a box for you where you don't have to go and get anything else to experience it. All you need is your glass and some wine, if that's what you want, so you can relax. Mm-hmm. And the kits, I love doing those customized kits because when you come in, it's bespoke as well. I don't make the kit before you get there because I don't know what your skin is telling me that it needs yet. Mm-hmm. When it tells me, then I can actually formulate the mask.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just curious to know, what did Demetria's skin tell you that it needed? Because she's got pretty nice skin and pretty nice hair. So what did it say?
All right, sister.
No, I'm serious. Like, what? I mean, not to get deep personal, but like, I don't see any problems. Oh. So I'm just curious. What did it say?
So what did my skin say to you, Ayana?
So, Demetria's skin definitely read just some deficiencies. So the main deficiency I saw was vitamin E deficiency. For Demetria's skin tone, and she has some sun damage that I saw. It read, I need vitamin E quickly. So I made sure to put a lot of that into the mask, a lot of berries into the mask, which we discussed. That's something that she can do internally as well, up her berry intake on a regular basis. Berries are filled with antioxidants. And so I made sure to also make sure she's applying that to her skin topically as well. Because when Demetria was growing up, she may have played outside a lot, what we do as kids, right? You play outside until the sun goes down. Maybe your parents think that because you put petroleum jelly on, you're good to stay outside. But that's actually when Demetria's sun damage started, when she was a young little girl and she was staying outside a lot. So as Demetria went up in age, as we all do, our skin changes. It changes from suppleness to now, we're not producing as much as we used to. Your skin cells technically should be pre-producing every 2 weeks. If it's not doing that, I have to what's called, I have to hijack your cells. I have to say, hey, you guys, wake up. We gotta keep producing. You can't slow down right now. Okay, Demetria has a lot going on. She has to keep up with things, and I need you all to keep up with her. So I put in a lot of antioxidants in her kit so that her skin cells are waking up and they have to start producing at a fast rate. And so what she's going to see is she's going to start seeing that sun damage start to disappear because her skin cells are actually able to replace those skin cells that have the sun damage.
Yeah. And so she prescribed a whole upping my dark leafy greens, upping my red raspberries to help again, the antioxidants. And so I've been doing that with the vegan challenge. It worked out perfectly the time, and I've made my triple berry smoothie. I've been eating raspberries, eating blueberries, all of that stuff. So we got a question here as far as, can hard water cause skin issues?
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can. Hard water is one. Thank you so much, Sean. That's a great question, because a lot of us deal with hard water and we always like, but what makes it hard? What makes it hard is the filtration process that the water goes through. So what that also means is it can add itchiness to your skin. You may feel like you're clean, but you're itching and you're in this tight. And it's like, well, what do I do about that? There's a lot you can do about it. One thing you can start doing is raw honey is my best friend. I love raw honey. Technically, it's not vegan to some people. It's not an animal product. It's actually an animal produced it. But honey is a great defense for hard water. You can put it in your, I want to say put it in your body wash, but if you're using a body wash with a whole lot of perfume, it defeats the purpose. You can't do it. You can rub raw honey on before you take a shower and then clean it off. And what it will do is alleviate those hard water issues, which is the tightness of your skin and the itchiness of your skin. It will alleviate that. The only other thing you could do is move. The best place you can, to me, the best water is well water. That's the best water you can put on your body is well water, because it's coming straight from the ground, from the best source. But if you don't have hard water and you can't do a really nice filtering system in your home, some people can't do that, and I completely get it. You need to start focusing on using honey, especially in the cold months, because that's when your body is most affected by hard water. And it'll alleviate the tightness and the itchiness also in your skin.
Yeah, well, we're I think we all, I know I live in one of those hard water areas, and luckily we do have a filtration system, a whole home filtration system to try to combat that.
Well, and that's something I need to invest in, because Arizona has some of the worst water. And that's why when I started earlier saying about the hydration thing, my skin and my hair have become very dry because of how hard the water is out here. And so I do plan to invest in one of those whole house filtration systems. But the raw honey, I'm gonna have to try that because I've kind of blended up my own something as well with shea butter and cocoa butter and coconut oil, mango butter, just again trying to combat just how tight and itchy and the breakout, because I break out very easily now.
Yeah. What the soap that Demetria has, which is called the Butter Bar, that is a great soap for anybody who has hard water at home, especially with COVID. It just seems like you've got a lot of alcohol and washing your hands, and and it's drying everybody out. It's drying your face out too. So the soap that Demetria mentioned earlier, which is the Butter Bar, is an excellent cleanser, because we forget that step too. We think that, okay, well, I have a good moisturizer, but you're still using Ivory soap, completely defeats the purpose, but it fights it. So you don't want to put detergents on your skin. You want to put on cleansers that have nourishment in it. That is so important. Not detergents, not Ivory, not Dove, not, God forbid, Dial soap, especially antibacterial. You're going to scrape everything off of your biodome. Like, you can't do that, because then you'll have itchy skin now increasing, and you're going to be wondering, where did that rash come from? So you want to make sure you're putting nourishment in. This is one of the soaps like Demetria has. This is called the Bar. So if you feel like you've been putting too much on your skin, too much oil, and you need to detox your skin, the Bar soap is where it's at. That's the Bar. The one Demetria has is Butter Bar, and it's based in butters. And then the Glow, you'll love the Glow, Chris.
Okay.
The Glow is packed with vitamin E, which is what we all need right now. And you can also use this head to toe. All this, we're all getting this dryness right here from the mask. You have something rubbing and irritating your skin all day if you're out. So you want to make sure to put that nourishment back in. This has beeswax in it, which is a natural a sealant and protector for your skin, so that when you are wearing your masks every day, hey, at least now you have a good foundation where it's not going to scratch through it. So nourishment is the key word here for everybody. And that's, that's whether you have hard water or not. We need a lot of nourishment right now.
So my last question. So we are biological. We are biological, since there's a lot of people still haven't got that concept down. But so you know what her skin issues are based on her DNA. So theoretically, my DNA should be just like her DNA. Would I have the same problems or same issues, or would I have different issues because I have a different skin tone, color, hue?
Both. And then the third thing is you're in a different climate than she is. So don't forget that part too. That's very important. Arizona is nothing like Florida,
right?
At all. If Demetria were to go to Arizona and she would use,
that's all right. She's gonna come back. I think so. I dropped in the comments, y'all, a lot of the links to the products. I love that, using cleansers that have nourishment, because we all need nourishment, and that really speaks volumes, because we need nourishment inside and outside, right? And we're also much nutrient deficient in so many areas of our lives, right? That was just spoke so many volumes to me. And so I've
been using Dove recently because I've had so many breakouts, and now she's like, Dove, nope. I
didn't mean to make you feel bad, but I had to be honest.
No, but I'm thinking, oh, now I'm doing something because, okay, I'm not using, because you want to use the body washes, you want to smell all good and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me buy this Dove for sensitive skin. I'm going to really be focused. And now it's like, nope, that's probably irritating my skin also.
It'll be interesting when you go back and look at the Love and look at what's in the Dove in order, like the ingredients in order, and see. Because if water is the number one thing, then we know that all of the things that are supposed to be nourishing, they're diluted down. So Very interesting.
You were saying Demetria went to Arizona. What would happen? I just
what would happen to me if I went to Arizona, girl? Because you already told me. She told me I need to put on a light long sleeve shirt to kind of help with this sun damage that I have on my arms and stuff. What else? Girl, what would happen to me if I went to Arizona? I would dry up. I know it.
You would dry and shrivel. Okay. I'd have to make sure that Demetria has her hat, has her long sleeve, has the butter bar, has some honey, has plenty of water that she's drinking every day. I mean, you have to double your water intake. The only food you can probably eat is berries, and I'll let you get some pasta in there, a little bit of pasta, but I'd probably say, hey, you know what, let's stay away from meat. I know right now you're doing your 30-day challenge, but
shoot. Okay.
So come back. Well, we got another comment here. Say hair looking good, Chrissy.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Yes, and so that's all thanks to the Aoki vegan hair care. And so, all right. So go ahead. We're gonna let you have the closing remarks.
We had a good stretch for a minute. We had like a full 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, I was not. Where if I was like, no, you ain't there yet. Yeah. So no, Demetria, you really have to just make sure to keep your vitamin E at the forefront of your skincare when you go to Arizona to visit, and remember to up your water intake and no dairy.
All right. Well, Ayana, anything you want to say in closing? We dropped in the comments how people can find you. They can do a consultation with you. So we have a comment here. My skin changed drastically when I moved west. It makes sense. The effects of environment. Absolutely. So what would you want to say in closing to the people? As we get ready to wrap up our show this evening.
Okay, Rosalind, thank you so much for the question. Your skin does go through dramatic changes when you move from one climate to the next. One thing to always remember is if you were doing one thing in a humid climate, don't feel like you need to do it more in a dry climate. Okay. That's one of the things I love about the virtual consultations, because I can actually look at everything that you're doing. It's not always bad, but my job is to really look at it from where you are right now and look at what you can change right now that you're in a warm climate. Some things deal with getting products of mine, but honestly, what do I start with, Demetria? I always start with the diet, because that is what's the top important. It's not about, hey, well, you know what? I want you to spend $100 on my website. It's not about that at all. It's, well, what you need is this. And I do ask about your genetics and figure out if your people are mountain people, desert people, how is it going to change while you're in this environment? I ask you questions about your scalp. Those are things that we have to go over in the virtual consultation. So I highly advise you to book it. I have 2 of them available. I have a 30-minute consultation and I have a 45-minute consultation. Both of them are the same impact. One just has a bespoke mask kit that I customize especially for you that you can use a couple of times. Light your candle, get you some wine. It's a very nice experience. And then the 30-minute consultation is a little bit shorter, but it will also just make sure to guide you for what you need and also what you need to also purchase from the website. And I have a $25 voucher for you to use. So you get a discount too.
Fantastic. I like that. And I will say that she sends you the candle as well with your mask kit. So it was worth of the investment for the 45-minute kit. We appreciate you joining us so much tonight and giving us some good lessons, some good information in caring for our skin and really taking care of ourselves from the inside out. Sister, what do you want to say in closing tonight?
I just want to say thank you so much, Ayana. This was fun despite our little crazy issues here technologically. This was a very good conversation. So thank you so much. And I would say, if nothing else, we can do nothing else for our skin. Definitely let's drink as much water as possible.
Absolutely.
Good filtered water. Very important too. Filtered water. Don't, if you have hard water at home, get filtered water to drink. Get it's worth the money. Just go ahead and get it and put that into your body. Alkaline water as well. Don't forget that. Sea moss, put that in your smoothies. It helps to cleanse and flush your system out. So do it. Yes. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. Technical issues just kept me on my toes.
For sure. Well, you hang on the line and I'm going to close us out. I want to say, Ayana, thank you for joining us. So tonight we wanted to have, we've had some heavy topics the last couple of weeks, and we wanted to have a lighter topic, but also an important topic and a timely topic. We're all wearing masks. We've all been inside more. We've all been under harsh lights more, and we've been doing as many Zoom calls. So we're getting that light emitted from our computers, as well as having these ring lights and what have you. So all of these impacts are having an impact on our skin. We're washing our hands 11 times a day. That's drying out our skin. Like, there's so many things that's impacting our skin. We just thought it was important to bring out this topic because, as we said, our skin is our most important, not our most important, but it's our largest organ. And it is very important because it is also next to the liver. The skin is the organ that detoxes your body the most. And so it is so very important how we take care of our skin. And y'all want to say black don't crack. So if you don't want it to crack, you better take care of it. That's all I'm going to say.
And also don't do crack. Remember that part.
As in the words of Whitney Houston, and her birthday was, I think, this past week, crack is whack. So with that being said, we're going to sign off tonight. And thank you all for tuning in to Hey Sister. Ayana, Christina, hold the line. Everybody else, good night. And we'll see you next week. We have another good topic coming up next week. Bye, everybody.